Hey, buddy, what's going on? Welcome to Personal Mastery Training. All right, if it's your first time listening to me, this is how it flows here. This is how it goes in this community. What we do is I suggest an idea. This is a strategy session. And in the strategy sessions, what we do is I suggest an idea, thought, a quote, anything, any of those three to help you to get started on thinking about these concepts, this quote. I want you to dive deeper in it. Too many times we hear things, we go through things, and we don't stop to think about it. This is something I was saying to one of my clients just yesterday. I was reiterating this to her. I said, I'm a big believer in that we shouldn't get through challenges. We shouldn't get through life. I'm a big believer that we should get from it. And when we can get from the challenge, when we can get from life, when we can get from winning and losing, we will master it eventually when we face it again. If we get through it, if we just bear the task and get through it and grind it out, we're going to relive it again because there was no lesson in that. And if I'm going to go through a challenge and through something that will take me to my knees, I'm going to learn from it because here's what life's all about. You're going to get those challenges again. They're going to come back around. Trust me. Life is a series of challenges and highs and lows. And in order to get through them, we must get from it. So that's what this is about. It's about personal mastery. And this next one I do is a masterclass. A masterclass is where I bring on guests, influencers, authors, and I pick their brain for the nuggets because success leaves clues. And the people I pick are usually in the arena. Some are famous, some are not. But what I see is that they're in the arena grinding away. And I want to get how they're doing it. And I want to bring that to you. And I invite you on both the strategy session and the masterclass to dissect it yourself, to grab your journal, to do whatever you do to give it some thought, agree, disagree. I don't care how you take it and run with it. I'm just sparking the thought and I want you to run with it. I'm passing the baton and you're going to run it. You're going to grab and run it. So, all right, today, here's what I want to talk about. Here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this idea. Should you bet on yourself? You know, in Toronto, Fred VanVleet, he's a basketball player, one of our key basketball players here in Toronto. He has a line of clothing and he calls it bet on himself, bet on yourself. And I agree with him. I'm all about that. I'm all about betting on myself. I've always been that way because I find for things to change, I must change. For things to be better, I must be better. And that means I have to bet on myself. I'm always talking about this idea that you must take 100% responsibility for your life. 100, not 99.9. Because you see, if I give you 0.01, you still have control over me. I can't be fully happy. I can't be fully courageous. I can't be fully me because you have 0.01. That's still slave. That's still a slave to you. So I must take 100% responsibility and bet on myself. However, this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about why sometimes you shouldn't bet on yourself if you don't have these 8 characteristics that I find are key. And again, where did I get this concept? I was talking to one of my clients about this. He is a potential. He wanted to be a football player in the NFL. However, his path changed, injuries and so forth. And the people he was hanging around with, his life is going, he's trying to pick it up right now as we speak, trying to turn it around, pick it up. And that's why he came to me and we're working on that. But as I talked to him, we got into talking about this idea of betting on yourself because he's so down and he has a ton of skills, a ton of potential skills that he hasn't even utilized it. He hasn't even scratched the surface yet. And he's just now, through coaching and guiding and mentoring, starting to scratch the surface. Now what I have to do is have to keep him contained and focused so he can drive that potential to somewhere. So we were talking about this idea of betting on yourself. And I was talking to him about Sometimes you shouldn't actually, if you don't have these skills, bet on yourself. Maybe you should get a job. Maybe you should get it where someone is going to take care of you and you just show up and do your best at what they propose. Because sometimes I used to think that entrepreneurship, going after the big prize, was for everybody. It's not. Sometimes you can be a great number two. Be that. Be that. And bet on yourself under that, guys. So here it is. I'm going to list the 8 things that I've come up with, and you can add your own. But these are the 8 things that I've come up with, 8 characteristics that you need to bet on yourself. And go through your checklist. If you don't have these, I believe you need to have these. And again, you can insert your own. But here are the top 8. Positive mental attitude. Do you have a positive mental attitude? Meaning that, do you see the silver lining in every cloud? Or are you the flip side? Do you see the cloud in every opportunity? Because in order to go up that mountain, let's say the person at the top of the mountain didn't accidentally fall up the mountain. They had to climb. And climbing up that mountain for every goal you have needs positive mental attitude. Not every day is going to be sunshine and roses. You need to cultivate. If you don't have it, you need to find it. You need to get the positive mental attitude in order to climb that mountain. Because you're going to have a lot of setbacks. Guaranteed. If you think you're not, good luck. Guaranteed. If your goal is big, hairy, and audacious and original to you, you better guarantee you're going to need positive mental attitude. It's going to be a long, but it's going to be worth it. But it's going to be a climb. All right. So you need PMA, positive mental attitude. Next one, focus. Focus. Are you focused? Too many times, some people have great ideas, great potential, lots of potential. However, because of lack of focus, they can't guide it. It'll be like, think about the sun. The sun is super hot, but it can warm the planet. It doesn't burn you. However, when you put a magnifying glass up to it, it can just burn right through so many things. So, what are you doing? Are you warming your market? Are you warming your world? Are you warming your community? Are you warming your genre, your niche? Are you warming it? Or are you laser focused? Are you burning through your community, your genre, your crowd, your tribe? Are you at the top of your game? Are you laser focused? You can't be great at 8 things at once. You must be great at one thing and do it really well. Remember Mariano Rivera, the New York Yankees pitcher? He had one pitch and he made it to the Hall of Fame. He didn't have 8. One pitch. Everybody knew what was coming. The classic quote of Bruce Lee that says, I fear someone who does one kick 1,000 times instead of 1,000 kicks once. So focus. Next one, big one, courage. Do you have the courage to persevere? You put the post out, you got a couple of critics, a couple of haters. Do you quit? And let me tell you, what you want wants you, but you have to be courageous enough to go get it. If it's your dream and it's never been done before, you better believe you're going to need courage. You better believe you're going to need to persevere and persist because it's never been done before. Everyone's going to say it can't be done. Almost everybody. Most will say it can't be done. And you're going to have to be courageous enough to keep going. So courage, resourcefulness. Are you resourceful enough? I love Tony Robbins' quote. He said, it's never a lack of resources. It's a matter of being resourceful. Acres of diamonds. You're sitting on acres of diamonds. But if you can only see with that negative mental attitude what's wrong, you won't see what's right. The brain's binary. It can't think about both at the same time, what's wrong and what's right. If I'm seeing challenges, I won't see opportunities. It's impossible. So are you resourceful enough to make it happen? To turn your mountains into a molehill? Or are you turning molehills into mountains? Are you resourceful enough to get through it? Do you do the MacGyver? Some of you that are too young, MacGyver was this character that would take a hairpin and make a car out of it. It's unbelievable. So are you that type? Next, growth mindset. or are you in a fixed mindset? Growth mindset is that thing happened to me, but happened in my favor. What's the silver lining? Or you fixed. Oh, it's like that. You can't change. I'm this. I'm this color. I'm this gender. I'm this sexual orientation, and everything's against me. Right? The fixed mindset is set. It's done. It's jello. It's over. The growth mindset, it's fluid. Okay, I'm gonna bounce. I remember during the pandemic, I wrote something on my wall. It said, "Never let a crisis go to waste." So during the pandemic, I was sitting there for a few months and I was brooding over it. Meanwhile, it's happened to everybody. That's the idea of a pandemic. I said, okay. After finished complaining, my pity party, I said, where is the opportunity in this crisis? And everything turned around. So, growth mindset, positive mental attitude. Next up, social skills, leadership skills. Meaning, you can run fast by yourself, as the African proverb said, but you won't run far. You need people, you need a group, you need a community, you need help, and you need strong social skills. If you're the person that when you enter a room, the lights go down, it gets dark, and when you leave, the lights go up, good luck. No one wants to be around that energy. We all have our own baggage. We don't need someone else bringing their baggage to the party. So you need strong social skills. You need emotional quotient. You need to be able to read the room. Leadership. People want to be led. They want to know tomorrow's going to be better. So what's your social skills like? Your network is your net worth. I'm so finding that true today. I can lean on my network and I can change everything around for me. My network is an amazing group of people. So many opportunities. It's unbelievable. So what are your social skills? What's your friend group like? You're the sum total of the people you hang out with. Are they taking you where you want to go? Are they adding or are they subtracting? What are your social skills like? Assess, take inventory of your group of people you're around. Now, next one, work ethic. Do you have strong work ethic? Are you the type that likes to grind it out when necessary? Yes, I agree that you have to step back sometimes and then enjoy the fruits of your labor. Savor the wine, the coffee, sniff the roses, enjoy. But you have to have, I know a lot of people talk about work-life balance, but they miss the equation. Balance means there must be some work in there. That's it. If you look at a teeter-totter seesaw, the two people on either side must be balanced, or else you'll have a weight distribution that's too much. So if you're only thinking of how can I not work, where's the balance? There's got to be that equal balance of work and play. Work ethic, you need it to get through. And last one I have here is discipline. Oh man, this is my favorite conversation, discipline. Discipline leads to freedom. Love that quote. Think about it. Discipline in whatever area you're missing, health, if you don't want to put the donuts down, that's slavery to the food. Money, if you can't create a budget and stick to it, you're a slave to your debt. Whatever area, relationships, mindset, you name it, discipline leads to freedom. Where are you struggling? Where you feel enslaved? Where do you feel stuck? That's where you need the discipline. So those are my top 8 things you need to do to bet on yourself. If you can't have positive mental attitude, focus, courage, resourcefulness, if you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset, it matters. Social skills, leadership skills. If you are not socially strong, you need to fake it till you make it or do something, take a course, anything, because you can run fast by yourself, but you can run farther with others. And work ethic. Do you have work ethic? The grind mentality when you need to. Of course, have your balance, but you need to be able to grind too. And lastly, discipline. Discipline leads to freedom. So do the checklist on those 8. And if you come up with a large percentage of that 8, then bet on yourself. Guaranteed I will bet on you. Absolutely. If you're not there yet, I'm betting on you to get there. Because if you have those, I can take you and put you anywhere and you're going to be successful. Now, if you don't have a large percentage of the 8, I can give you all the opportunity you want, and I'm going to guarantee you're going to mess it up because you just need to have those things to bet on yourself. All right. So check that out. Journal on that. Check the 8. We'll put the 8 in the show notes. Check yourself against the 8. And again, include your own. I'm just sparking the thought. But those are the ones I've found in my time that if someone possesses a lot of those 8, watch out. If they're not there yet, they're going to get there. Trust me on that. All they need now is a blueprint, and they're going to get there. If you're missing a lot of those 8, I can give you all the opportunity you want. I can give you $1 million. I can give you $1 billion, whatever it is you want. I can give you everything, the relationship success. And you're going to hit up on imposter syndrome. You're going to hit up on something's going to get you somewhere. So that's my advice. All right. So if you know someone who want to hear this, see this, join our community, build out, keep building this community of people who are striving for mastery of self, the 3-pound mass between their ears. Like, subscribe, and share this. Let's build this community. If I can help you, let's connect. All right. You know I do this because I want you, me, to be relentless about our pursuit for personal mastery. Because when we can master that 3-pound gorilla between our ears, outside, forget about it. We got it. All right. Until next time. Peace and love.